More!
Lunch break! What's up guys, today we're eating sandwiches.
Yes.
How was everyone's weekend?
Just chill.
Super chill.
Oh, draining. Well, my cousin is like freaking out right now because she's applying to colleges, and I guess she didn't get like that early acceptance letter, so she was kind of freaking out. So my weekend was hanging out with her, trying to get her mind off of it, you know?
This is the time of people getting the acceptance letters for college.
Yeah.
Were you able to help? Because in that mode, probably nothing you can say
No,
or do is
really, it really isn't unless I can hand her that letter.
So there's probably a ton of you out there that are waiting right now for your big answers because you're thinking that's the next step in life. In that moment, it is the most suspenseful thing. Because I mean, you worked pretty much up from, you know, 1st grade to 12th grade.
Preschool for me.
Like,
Since putting the square block into the circle hole, I've been
then you had a
training.
very
And
best
coloring.
start. Where did you guys apply to?
Thinking back then, like, yeah, I think I don't want to say an underachiever, but I only applied to California universities. It's specifically University of California, like their whole chain
It's a public school system statewide.
Yes. So if you're a California resident, you pay less to go to California school. So I didn't even look at private schools. I didn't look at out-of-state schools. I was just trying to, you know, play it safe a little bit. And plus, like, that's where just a lot of my friends were going, so I kind of wanted to just be part of that. My top choice was UCLA. And I'll just say this, not because it's a good school or whatever, it was only because, like, it's a name brand school. Everyone knows and has heard of UCLA. It's like the cool school, and when you're in high school, like, you just latch on to whatever. What was your goal?
Well, my goal was to get into at least one Ivy. Ivy League is usually there's 8 schools, and they're usually known to be the most prestigious schools here and I guess around the world.
Can you name all 8?
Yeah, Harvard, Yale, Princeton, Brown, Columbia, Cornell, Dartmouth,
That was 6.
Penn State?
and University of Pennsylvania.
UPenn, sorry. Oh, they're very different, excuse me.
He definitely wanted to get into one of them.
We've been invited to speak at every Ivy League. It took like 7 years, but eventually we hit up each one and we get to tell our parents that we went to every Ivy League.
To be like kind of on a realistic standpoint, my dream school was USC, University of Southern California. Yeah.
Very expensive. Actually, you have very expensive taste. All those are super expensive.
Since I'm from Florida, we're not as known to have a really strong standing public universities like California, except like University of Florida. I felt like all my friends or people that I knew I would see the same familiar faces going to a state school, but I wanted to branch out.
You want to get out.
Yeah.
Opposite of me, like I want to stay in.
It's so weird.
California's a huge state. Okay, we were basically
That's true,
we're
that's
basically 4 Floridas and like what 100 Hawaiis. When I said that, you know, California residents get to go to California for cheaper, you just shake your head. Why?
Everywhere you go, because Hawaii is so small, like you have to go to school in Hawaii. If not, it's out of state. But you're gonna get like a very similar experience kind of wherever you go in Hawaii. For me, I didn't really have a dream school. I just knew I wanted to get off of Hawaii and go to the mainland. So for me, it was either Oregon or California. California had the most similar weather to Hawaii, so less likelihood to get homesick. But I didn't know that going away was an option for me, so I didn't even take my SATs. I wasn't planning on it.
Whoa.
Yeah, so I thought I was gonna go straight to community college, but then my dad made me take the SATs in case I went to University of Hawaii.
So SATs is
Standardized.
standard aptitude test.
It's one of the 2 major standardized tests that you take to apply to college.
In that moment, I remember wanting to go to MIT really badly.
Oh, you
Because my-
would fit in so well there.
Well, it's because it's like younger brother syndrome, right? Like I see my brother, he goes to that school, everyone's smart, everyone's like, it's very prestigious, like the world's best engineers and scientists and minds come from there. And how could I not want to do that, right? I didn't have any chance. I'm not nearly the mind that he is.
Actually, I remember for some reason I learned what MIT was like in elementary school, and I definitely remember saying this. My parents confirmed it. Like I used to go around telling people as a 3rd grader, I want to go to MIT, and everyone was always like, okay, Phil.
That was the same with me in Harvard because I watched Legally Blonde a lot and I thought, well, if Elle Woods can do it.
Well, yeah, right? I mean, she was able to.
Below that was probably UCLA also. And yeah, I think at that age you are very influenced by what's around you.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I did find things at UCLA that I wanted to do, so it just furthered my drive to go there. On top of the friends going there and it being a name brand school,
Yeah.
so those were like probably the top 2.
I like that UCLA was like just in SoCal. I think I just wanted to go to Southern California. All right, so now that we all know what we were trying to get into, Chris, did you get into an Ivy League?
No.
No.
You said that's so sad,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
Oh, you had to take a minute. How did you feel when you got that letter?
I wasn't like really shocked or anything because it's really hard. Like these schools, they accept 5 to like 8% of students. But so I wasn't let down. I had some other schools that did accept me, and I was okay. So at least I'm wanted somewhere. So the stream school I wanted to get it was USC, specifically because of the film program, which is probably the top in the nation or in the world. And I didn't get in, so that was a bummer. You know, because my dad went to USC, and he also went to Harvard.
Dude, that's a high bar, man.
Yeah.
USC and
Harvard.
Harvard?
Yeah.
Dang.
Under what?
So both doctorate programs.
No big deal.
Yeah, when you're growing up, you're like, oh, my dad went to Harvard. And it was sort of like when you were saying, like you were saying, like, oh, at the third grade, you heard like, oh, yeah, MIT, and you want to like talk about that.
Like that becomes your norm.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And you're like, oh, anything under than Harvard would be like less than
dude,
less
that's
than good.
that's a lot of pressure.
But then it's okay.
Yeah, in the end, it's okay.
Where did you end up going?
Boston University, BU.
That's a great school.
It was all right. It's sort of like what I imagined college, and it forces you to, you know, get out of your bubble. And then, like, because I also knew that like where you get your college education didn't really stipulate or how you'll do in this work environment. I mean, I'm at Wongfu right now, so something worked.
Obviously. But if he was an Ivy League graduate,
Do you know where else you could be?
maybe he would have gotten here a little
Goldman
earlier.
Sachs. I'll be at a Goldman Sachs.
Yeah, you wouldn't even been doing video.
So I wanted to go to MIT. I didn't get in. I got an interview though.
Whoa.
But I think you had to get an interview.
Yeah.
Everyone that applies, you get an interview.
Well, my brother had an interview. So I applied, and that went well in person.
Wow.
Like,
The alumni.
There's alumni in your area, and they interview you.
So this person who graduated from MIT is qualified enough.
No, they're not gonna say if you got in or not. They'll probably put in their input.
Well, that's what I mean. Like their input really matters.
Well, no, not really, because they'll put notes. It's like an additional
Right.
supplement
Yeah.
to your application.
But I was scared as hell. It was very nice. I was showing him like my portfolio of mostly art stuff, just like to show the creativity aspect, not like my test scores or anything. It went, you know, as good as it could.
Did you dress up for it?
Probably like a polo. Probably wear a polo shirt. Yeah, you don't want to try too hard. It was also a reach school. Like I knew that it was a stretch, and honestly, I think if I got in, I'd be way too scared. I was actually deep down, I was probably thinking like, I hope I don't get in because that's too much pressure.
Really? But then, if you already felt that, were you doing it for like your family then, or for just?
Doing it like to prove something to myself or to other people.
I think that's what a lot of young people
yeah.
they apply because of exactly that. To say that they did, or to make their parents happy, but
Or
they
to know
don't-
they could.
or to know they could, but they don't actually want to. And that's what sucks, I think, about this whole process is that, like, that age, you're not really in a mental space to really understand what you need or want. But it's such a huge decision, but you're making these kids do it. It's like crazy.
The other stories of my other schools are more tragic, I think.
Oh no.
Yeah. UCLA, I was like, I want to get into their design school. And I was like, that's awesome. That sounds like everything I want. They just have very limited number of spots open for those people. I was super bummed out because that one I thought I might have a chance. And then I found out later through my counselor, hey, yeah, they just ran out of room, but if you had applied like regular admission,
Oh, no.
they would have accepted you and you could have like
Oh.
transferred in or something.
Oh.
And that crushed me. I got into UC Berkeley and I didn't go.
Oh my god.
I get that. So UC Berkeley is probably like the top rated academic UC.
It's the top ranked public school in the country.
And I said no. And I went to UC San Diego instead. Kind of like what Chris was saying, what I wanted to go into, it wasn't really dependent on the name of the school. If I were to do computer science or engineering, then I probably should have gone to Berkeley. But I was doing something in the arts.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, I'll go to UC San Diego. And they gave me like a small scholarship. So, but in the end, like I'm very happy with what I chose.
I wanted to go to UCLA. Got rejected. UCLA, what's up? Wongfu could have rep UCLA, but whatever.
I'm not bitter at you at all. Because I know that you actually did want me, but just for a different program.
Okay, see, I didn't even get that. I was just thrown to the side. I think I had a very good application too. I was very involved in school, a lot of extracurriculars. Maybe my GPA wasn't that great, whatever. Maybe my SAT scores were not that great, whatever. Anyway, so I got rejected, and I actually remember, this is how like over dramatic I think like high schoolers are about this stuff. Like me and my friend, so we found out at school, like we logged into like our email. We were so upset that we ditched school for the rest of the day, and then we just started driving. We got like 30 minutes out, and we're like, we're getting too far. We went to a mall, and then we like spent some money on like shoes and stuff, and like just like
sounds-
trying to make ourselves feel better.
Sounds about right.
Retail therapy.
It was like, yeah.
That's
we got
where it's
here.
at.
Oh, so I also applied to Berkeley. I never wanted to go to Berkeley though, because it was so close, like 20 minutes away. So, but it was one of those things where I wanted to apply just to see if I could,
Yeah,
and just to
you could.
say
Yeah.
that I rejected Berkeley.
Yeah.
But Berkeley
But,
rejected you.
but I didn't even get that
Plot
chance. So they saw right through my application. I had some other schools there, but then UCSD was the best school that I got into, and it was the best school for me to go to. I'm really glad I went.
Maybe it's because I'm realistic, but I got into all of my schools.
Well, I feel like transfer students have a better chance.
Yeah, I think so. It's not as competitive. The
Yeah.
pool's not as big. What sucks about being a transfer student is when I wanted to transfer, I didn't have the amount of credits that I needed to be a transfer student. So when I transferred into my college, I was still considered a freshman, even though it's my second year.
Honestly, actually, you should be very grateful that you even got that experience. A lot of transfers, they come in second year, and they don't get to have that college experience. Small school. Yeah, you have weird rules.
Where you go or where you don't go, it really doesn't matter. It's like what you do with your life and how much you want to grow on your own.
Right. I have friends definitely that went to top schools and they don't know what they're doing with their lives. They don't know where they're going. And I have friends that didn't even go to college that are doing things that I'm jealous of and that inspires me. So if you're a kid right now that's waiting on their application, anything we say is not going to take away from that stress. Obviously, we've been through it, so just know that we've been through it too, and there's light at the end of the tunnel no matter what path that tunnel is. And if you did get rejected, you know what? Just ditch school for a day, gather your head,
Oh my god.
go buy some Nikes, and get back on the horse tomorrow.
If you got accepted to somewhere but it wasn't your first choice, it's okay. Focus on making that the experience that you can really grow from.
Also, like, if you don't know what you want to do, or if, you know, community college is an option for you, don't be ashamed of that. You can have time to think about it, to plan, so that when you do get into, you know, a university or whatever, you know exactly what you're doing. There's nothing wrong with that. It's okay.
You don't have to prove yourself to anyone, and you know yourself best, and you know you work hard. Who are colleges to, you know, gauge your performance or how you end up being in life?
Yeah, they don't know you.
They don't know you.
You know you.
That said, good luck to everyone out there. We're very excited for your futures, and thanks for joining us today on this very stressful and academic flashback.
Let us know in the comments below what your dream school is, and then come back and comment and let us know if you got in. Lunch breaks every Thursday. We'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.
Subscribe.